Each week within the Great Koala National Park, hundreds of hectares of native forest is being industrially logged. What we're facing right now is taxpayer-funded extinction logging operations.
The northern end of the planned Great Koala National Park, a vast forest reserve on the hinterland of the New South Wales mid-north coast. Labor swept to power in the state in March 2023, promising to gazette the park, but it's yet to do so. And incredibly, it's let the timber industry keep logging native forest within the proposed park boundaries. We saw it firsthand. We're told that a crack team of loggers has been sent in here to extract as much resource as they can before the Great Koala National Park is declared. Now, authorities deny that they've upped the pace of logging before the shutters come down, but a lot of people don't believe it. We witnessed logging and its aftermath within the planned park boundaries at Shears Knob, Newry State Forest and Clouds Creek. Uncle Miklo Jarrett is a proud Gumbaynggirr man.
This land is Gumbaynggirr land. Always was, always will be Gumbaynggirr homeland. This place is designated to become the Great Koala National Park. This place is the only area where there's greater gliders and koalas together living. So we have to protect this place, really protect all this area.
He's furious about what happened last year on Gumbaynggirr land in the Newry State Forest, which is meant to form part of the Great Koala National Park.
People come in, they bought their bulldozers, they bought their trucks, they bought their chainsaws to smash our homeland.
Uncle Miklo joined a blockade to try to stop the native forest destruction.
Our country, all we want to do is live together with all of you people, but we want our land to be safe with our animals. Truly, I got nothing against you or anybody else. Just leave our trees and our animals alone and our culture.
When we tried to block the logging, the police came. So the police actually made way for the trucks to come in, and then chaos happened. People were arrested, and everything fell away.
Backed by police, the loggers felled the trees. How do you feel about what's happened on your land?
The more it goes on, the angrier I'm getting. I was so happy when the Labor government said, hey, we're going to create a Great Koala National Park for you guys. I was so happy. But then now, I'm getting angry because they're not doing it. They're doing this. They're destroying the land.
Clouds Creek State Forest is home to the endangered greater glider.
Create the Great Koala National Park.
For months, a ragged army of forest activists has kept the logging machines at bay.
This is just too precious to log. We can't let them come in here and destroy beautiful habitats that are recovering from bushfire. Enough's enough.
Keep on walking forward, never turning back, never turning back.
Meredith Stanton lives on a small bush block within the Clouds Creek State Forest.
I've lived here for the last 46 years. I just love the forest here. We have got every type of endangered species living around us.
After the 2019 bushfires, logging in the surrounding forest was put on hold. But now, she says, the state's Forestry Corporation is doubling down.
Well, I think it's just a smash and grab to get this timber before the proposed koala park. They'd already logged northwest of me, north, and then they began last year 1,100 hectares to the east of me, and now they want to log to the south of me, and it's like, you've got to be joking. We've discovered there's enough gliders in there to repopulate these forests. They're breeding, they're recovering from fire. Why would you go and log it? It's just madness. So now my only option is to stand in front of the machines and say, I'm not letting you past. That's the only power I have got as a forest neighbour who's lived here all of my life, who cares about my community and knows the trauma that we've suffered from the fires, killing everything that we love around us. And now we feel like the timber industry is coming in and just smashing the little precious gems that are left, sitting in some little spot that didn't burn so hot. And it's just so unjust that we have to put our lives and be told we're criminals because we want to protect what is around us. It's so shit.
Mark Graham knows what it feels like to be treated like a criminal for trying to save the forest.
Yeah, glow-in-the-dark fungi that are feeding off this rotting bouillon. Amazing things in the forest.
The ecologist and activist has been assaulted by timber workers, arrested and harassed by police. He takes us on a tour of native forest under threat.
This is the beginning of 22 kilometres of new road to the next section of Shays Knob. Yeah, and they haven't even commenced there yet, and here's where it starts. These are old growth forests which have good populations of greater gliders and koalas, glossy black cockatoos, palmer wallabies, and a host of other threatened species. This old growth forest faces imminent logging.
This is a massive tree over here. How old would that tree be?
It's a coastal blackbutt, and we know that they take about 130 years to start to develop hollows. This tree has massive hollows in it. There are 3 endangered greater gliders with their den trees, their home in the top of that tree.
We find evidence contradicting claims the logging taking place is forestry best practice. In the proposed boundaries of the Great Koala National Park, trees koalas once lived in, felled and discarded.
This grey gum tree is absolutely coated in koala scratches. It was a home range tree for koalas in this part of Shays Knob State Forest.
Trees preserved as habitat, but damaged.
We see systematically through these logging operations, wounding of these trees, driving 30-tonne excavators over their roots. That shortens their life. It means that the trees can be infected with pathogens that then rot them out, or that fire burns in and that they collapse in the event of a wildfire.
You might imagine the native forest being chopped down is used to make beautiful furniture or houses, but for the most part, no. These trees are being turned into tomato stakes and pallets or into wood chips. Native forest logging in New South Wales is a loss-making enterprise subsidised by taxpayers. Although it's protected some designated koala hubs, it's extraordinary the state government has let logging continue within the planned park boundaries, especially given the climate crisis.
The forests of the Great Koala National Park extend from sea level on the Coffs Coast to occasionally snow-clad peaks on the Great Escarpment and the Dorrigo Plateau. What the science tells us is that koalas need large blocks of intact forest for their survival, and they will need to move in response to global heating. The Great Koala National Park offers a lifeline for 1 in 5 of the state's wild koalas, but we've got the government allowing the Forestry Corporation to eat out giant chunks from within these forested corridors.
Aside from timber industry pressure, there may be another reason why the state government won't halt the logging. As the Australia Institute has previously reported, the government wants to monetise the forest by selling carbon credits, and it doesn't want to gazette the new national park until a carbon credits method is in place.
You have to have the system up and running before you can quarantine a park or an area to allow for that area or that zone to be eligible for the carbon transfer. If you do it in reverse, then you can't retroactively go to that national park or that forest and say, this will now apply to carbon offsets in the future.
Perversely, it can only claim the carbon credits are genuine by maintaining an active threat of logging.
Well, the carbon credits are going past us on log trucks. There goes your carbon. It's all just going up through the mills into sawdust. If you know what's happening in the forest, you know that they're losing carbon out of these forests right now because they're still logging them.
Thanks for watching. We love that we can make these videos free to watch, but they're not free to make. It's thanks to our generous supporters that we can keep making research and content that changes minds. So, if you like what we do, please consider giving to the Australia Institute so we can keep doing it. Visit our website australiainstitute.org.au and click the donate button to see how your support can help fund high quality research that matters.